Good evening. If you are one of those who think that the Christ Jeebus is returning for the final judgment on May 21st, 2011, good for you. I don't care. Think what you want. If you're one of those who want to make seemingly intelligent and informative videos that merely state the obvious about the prediction and how you think it won't happen, good for you too. I'm sure there was some guy living in a gumbo hut someplace deep within the darkest jungle that hasn't heard about it yet. I have to be honest and say I'm already getting a little tired of it all, and I really don't know how many more times I can hear someone come up with the same worn-out epiphany to ask those who are about to be raptured to giving all their possessions to them who are left behind. So I've decided to show you some of those who are promoting the May 21st rapture prophecy so that we can all see their faces and poke some well-deserved fun at them. I know that sounds a bit cruel, but keep in mind that this is not directed at all Christians. In fact, many if not most Christians disagree with family radio and their moronic minions and their insane ideas. I do find it interesting, however, that the Christians who disbelieve the rhetoric are using Scripture to disprove Family Radio's claim, while Family Radio is also using Scripture to validate the claim. Neither camp will stop and think about how and why there is such a discrepancy in ideas when they're both using the same book. I mean, damn people. If the Protestant Reformation wasn't enough to demonstrate just how vague and misleading the Bible is, surely this should be. Yeah, I know. It's all up to interpretation. Well, I'd love to give you my interpretation of the Bible, but I may not have enough time. Besides, we're here to pwn those who are trying their darndest to scare the hell out of people while frightening salvation into them. Salvation, I might add, that should bring many more blind sheep into the fold known as Family Radio under the patronage of one Mr. Harold Camping. The number of followers should increase in their church because of the Fright Fest, and many, I'm sure, will remain with them long after Camping is again shown, just like he was in 1994, to be a complete lunatic. So, without further ado, here is my gallery of dense and dim-witted diviners of dung dished up for our derisive digestion. As usual, I've edited the videos for brevity while maintaining the original message and have added some notations and evil effects along the way as well, just for fun.
So $49.90 plus $7,000 takes us right to 2011. That is a very short time from now. If it's 2011, that it's likely that God will end the world with a fire, a catastrophic fire, can we tell exactly from the Bible when in 2011 it could be? We do. The second month and the 17th day of the Hebrew calendar would be May 21st in 2011. And that date is the date of the rapture, when God would bring his people to heaven and begin this period of 5 months of excruciating judgment upon the world that would ultimately end in October 21st in 2011, exactly 153 days later. There's much evidence in the Bible that ties in so many things that lead to these dates. Be prepared for God's judgment, when he will bring the fire upon this earth to burn it up, to create a new heaven and a new earth.
Be prepared for God's judgment, when he will bring the fire upon this earth to burn it up, to create a new heaven and a new earth.
Hello, this is Brother John. Just wanted to reaffirm what I made a video about and put on the internet, several different video sites, that myself, along with millions of others in the world, believe that the rapture is spelled out in the Bible to occur on May 21st, 2011, which is just a little over a year from now. You need to do some due diligence and research if you're interested in eschatology and parousia, which is the study of end times. Most of the seminaries, if not all of them in the world, are teaching false doctrine now. Do some due diligence, because there's a short time remaining, very short time remaining, I believe, before the rapture of the saints, May 21st, 2011. That's all those that have went on before, and the ones that are still alive. That'll be followed by 5 months of living hell on earth, earthquakes, and God knows what all. It's going to be Jehovah God's judgment on sinful mankind. And then after that 5-month period ends on October 21st, 2011, that's the day that Jehovah God will eliminate the universe that he created. Like it says in Revelation, it'll be burned up by fire. Annihilation of the entire universe, including planet Earth. Thank you very much for listening to the video. God bless you. Amen.
Okay, if you're watching this, May 21, 2011 has begun. Judgment Day has begun. And so this video is to inform you of, what, you should know, what you can do in the day of judgment. Basically, you have 5 months to live, if you can live. And then on October 21, 2011 will be the last day of the whole world's existence. On that day, God will
destroy, will burn the whole earth and the whole universe by fire. Chaos everywhere, everything's destroyed, all the earthquakes happening everywhere. Well, super chaos, it's hell on earth, and you are experiencing the full wrath of God. No mercy from God, zero mercy. It's super, super awful. Then you will be cast into the lake of fire.
So that's what's going to happen. But this is a just punishment from God.
What if I told you that Judgment Day is less than 28 months away? You would probably say that you are a lunatic. You would probably say you are crazy. What if I tell you that this information came directly from the Bible? Beloved, brothers and sisters, God has a lot more to say about the time of the end. Are you willing and ready to listen to him? May 21st, 2011 is the day when God will shut the door to the ark, who is our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. There will be no more salvation after May 21st, 2011.
There will be no more salvation after May 21st, 2011.
And those that was saved by his grace before the foundation of the world are going to be raptured on the 21st of May of this year. And May 21st is going to be the beginning of the end.
On the 21st, the book of Revelation talks about an earthquake such as man has never seen. So it's going to be a worldwide earthquake.
It's going to be a period of a 5-month judgment that the Lord is going to bring on his unsaved people.
A lot of people are going to be killed when all that's going on.
We're oddballs. We're freaks. We're we were called all kinds of. But so was Jesus himself when he was here in the flesh.
It's hard because, like I said, we know that it's true, and they completely believe opposite. And they usually yell at us and leave notes on our car and tell us no man knows that we're crazy or we're drinking Kool-Aid, but really we're just as normal as anyone else. It's affected me because I don't have friends and I don't have, much of a social life. And for a while, my family, we were alone before we met believers. And now, for a 15-year-old, I don't have any friends my age that believe this or think, I'm normal. They all comment on my Facebook and say that I'm crazy.
And, when you see that what's going on in the world with all the gay movement, May 21 is the first day of judgment on this world. God bless you guys.
Davey, My name is Ross Mandel. I'm coming to you live from 5 Star Entertainment. We're at Mammoth Studios in Boca Raton, Florida. I'm coming to you uncut, unfiltered. I'm unedited. I'm uncensored. It is so good to see everybody today. And I just... after doing a little research, I was like, whoa. Came to my attention recently that beware. Judgment days are coming. They're talking about the end of the world as we know it. That's big stuff. Man, oh man, is that big stuff. The end of the world, Judgment Day. God is coming to earth. Bodies will be laid astrew. On one end of the earth to the other will be covered in dead bodies. This is right out of the scripture, right out of the Bible. Now, and people believe, if you remember the story of Noah's Ark, we talk about creation, Genesis, Adam and Eve. What most people might not remember, but they know the story, the lovely story of Noah's Ark. God comes to a guy, a man, thought he was the only decent, honest man. Him and his sons built this big, giant ark. They made movies about it. And scientists have been searching for this ark all over the world. And they're having ark sightings, and there's a belief that there was an ark, and they know where it is. Make a long story short, now according to these people that have done interpretive readings on this stuff, and according to Judgment Day, May 21st of 2011, baby, strap yourself in because it's coming. It's coming really soon. This is Judgment Day. And they've calculated and they can explain and they've extrapolated why God's coming. And he's coming soon. Just so you all know, March the 14th is my trial date. It has been scheduled. I just want to say this has been the Under Arrest series. Well, we know where that's going to head now.
Well, there we have it. Now, some of you may have wondered to yourself how I could be so heartless and callous as to vehemently criticize and lampoon these devout individuals based simply upon their belief. After all, aren't we all entitled to believe what we want? Well, yes. And I defend everyone's right to worship as they wish. And if these people had decided to lock themselves into a basement, eat cockroaches, and drink urine for 40 days and 40 nights awaiting the return of Jeebus, then that's fine with me too. But what these people are doing is taking their prophecy of death and destruction towards all who don't share in their belief and throwing it in our faces. They parade their messages of doom from coast to coast and on every station in every city and plaster it in newspapers and on billboards. More than that, they are proving beyond any shadow of doubt their total dishonesty because they make this claim as fact, not belief, but unquestioning fact, and using this as a weapon of fear against us. Oh, sure, they will tell you that their motive is to save us all from fires of hell before it's too late. But let's think about this for a moment. On May 22nd of this year, what will they be saying? Will they be giving you a rash of excuses why it didn't happen? Maybe they'll say that Harold Camping misinterpreted the message and they'll treat this as if it's no big deal. After all, these things will happen, so no harm, no foul. Or maybe they'll say that God had decided in his ultimate wisdom to change his mind about the whole thing for reasons not known to us. Or perhaps they'll say that the millions who had prayed for forgiveness has caused God to postpone his judgment. Those are a few of my favorites from the past, and all of these have been used many times before. Now, don't you think these people know this? If there was any chance at all for the possibility of Camping's misinterpretation of Scripture, how come they're not telling you about this possibility? Deception. They have all witnessed prophecies of the past not coming true, so why is it they don't tell us about the possibility of this not happening? Deceit. And the day after they discover it didn't happen, will they admit the Bible was wrong? No. Will they admit they were wrong? No. But if God sees fit to answer the forgiving prayers of millions and put a hold on the final judgment, then it must mean that his own words that have been claimed to be of truth in a book of his own design, is nothing but a lie. Family radio followers must either accept that logic as truth or accept the truth that they have been deceived by an old lunatic. There are no other options. But the main reason for the proof in their deliberate dishonesty will be when they refuse to accept any responsibility for their actions. They will just look around, shrug their shoulders, and say, "Oh well." They may even offer a heartfelt apology, but it'll be an empty one. Some years down the road, they'll open that dusty book and start making the same stupid mistake again without regard for common sense or decency. So the intent is obviously that of fear to conversion. There's absolutely no intent to save anyone from anything. And to be totally frank, these people really piss me off, and they deserve every ounce of criticism the world can dish out. This is Super Soylent, and thank you for watching.
Does God look down from the sky now and say, "Oh, what the fuck?